How the vacation going, man?
Man, it's going great, man. The kids just left out the room, man, about to go down to the beach. So man, it's good, man. The weather's great. Fam having
I
a
was
good
about to say
time
can't complain about the weather.
at all.
But yeah, man, we're back. Another episode of Man to Man Pod. I believe this is episode 107.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I believe already, man. We started what July? July of last year. Already at 100. Let me make sure my shit's on point. Boom, 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 boom. Yep, good money. But yeah, man.
What's good, man? How you doing? How your day going? Good morning.
Man, can't complain, man. Can't complain. Good day. Been productive week so far. Getting to it, man. Getting to it. Head down, working all gas, no breaks. I know you on vacay with the
Uh-huh.
family, so your day got to
Yeah.
be going good, man. Everything good on your end?
Yeah, man, everything good, Being able to take some time out and just to relax and chill,
Mm-hmm.
to take a break for a little bit. So all is well.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. But we're gonna jump in this thing, man. But we're not gonna start with football today. Actually, basketball on that court. The NBA. KD is back, obviously, which is huge
Mm-hmm.
for the NBA, especially with LeBron, LaMelo, and other guys being. I feel like a lot of guys are banged up right now, probably after that short break. AD, but KD back, man. Look damn good last night too. I don't
Yeah.
think he missed a shot. I think it was 5 for 5, 17 points. Nets look good. Kyrie looked good, obviously, against the Pelicans. What's your thoughts on the Nets, man? With the Lakers still banged up, still think are they your favorites? Lakers the favorite? Who you like?
I like the Lakers, man. I still like the Lakers. Like you said, obviously with KD coming back, he looked good last night. I caught a little bit of the game. Kyrie looked good. James Harden was out.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, with them adding Marcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin. And
Aldridge
I
look
feel as though
good too.
they got a good say it again.
Now I said LaMarcus Aldridge look good too.
Nah, he did. But again, we've yet to seen all of them on the floor at one time. Um, as you mentioned, the Lakers are banged up. LeBron being out, um, Anthony Davis being out. So again, it's still, you got to get into that groove, especially going into the playoffs. Um, I think the Brooklyn Nets, in my opinion, are the favorites to come out the East. Um, I have the Lakers coming out the West, even though we still have some teams that's playing some good ball in the West,
Mm-hmm.
Jazz, the Phoenix Suns, but uh, it's tough. I'm just going with the Lakers since I've been rocking with them, um, since the beginning of the season, since last season. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
my pick.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Who
that
you got?
obviously not a bad pick. The boy's been out, man, banged up. I've been with the Lakers this whole ride, but I may be shifting over, man. If KD can get out there and stay healthy, Harden, I think he'll be fine. I think he just got a hammy, a little tweaked hammy. But Harden's usually pretty durable. If you got Kyrie, if you got them three, and then you bring over Aldridge and Blake, they're looking decent to good. Harris, Green. Now they got depth. Jordan, they got depth to. That was the thing for me. They didn't have a bunch of depth, but now that they have that, and if they played their big three, only played what 7 games together so far. But they are hoopers, man. If they out there healthy, both rosters are healthy. I may be shifting over to the Nets, man. Tone jumped in here and said Bucks to the sleepers. I wouldn't go
I don't
that
believe that.
far. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not
Nah, I
gonna
won't
fall
go
for that
that
okey
route.
doke this year. They did lock up Drew
Yeah,
Holiday. He got
but
a bad.
well deserved. Well
Yeah, he
deserved. I
well
don't think.
deserved.
Uh, yeah, I don't think they talk about him enough, just as far as what he's able to do on both ends of the court,
Mm-hmm.
offensively, and then I think very important on the defensive end. You know what I mean? What he's able to do, you know, lock up some of the. I ain't gonna say lock up, but defend real tough. But
Yeah,
it will deserve him being able to get that bag.
Yeah, when you hear a lot of hoopers speak on who's that guy that's underrated, that's not talked about enough, especially one of the most dynamic positions in the league, Drew Holiday name comes up a lot. So Woody's Herb bag, like you said, I think it was 4 for 160 or something like that. So their big three now
Mm-hmm.
out in Milwaukee is Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, and obviously Greek Freak. They added PJ Tucker, who balls on the defensive side as well, spot up shooter kind of from the corner. But do you see that big three out in Milwaukee ever sniffing the title?
No. Um, because if you look at the team that they're gonna have to get through what I'm saying, get out of the East,
Mm-hmm.
KD, Kyrie, James Harden, I don't see
It's
it.
tough.
It's tough. I don't see it.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
tough.
I could be wrong, but I just don't see it. Where again, as you previously just mentioned, if you could get them on the court together, all healthy, that's gonna be tough. In a
That's
seven
gonna
game
be.
series, I don't see them um, beating the Nets in a
That's
seven
gonna be.
game series.
That's gonna be. That's gonna be real tough. Now, coming into this year, I feel like the NBA coming into the year, you kind of most of the times we already have like our Eastern Conference, Western Conference finals kind of already lined up in our head. This year has obviously been a little different. Who's been you expect the Nets to be good, expect the Sixers, Bucks. Who's been the most surprising team for you this year on the West Coast and the on the Eastern Conference?
I, I would say West Coast, it would definitely be the Phoenix Suns, in my opinion. Them getting Chris Paul, I think it was a big plus for them. And I think we've over the past 2 or 3 years, we've seen what Chris Paul can do for a team. Even
Mm-hmm.
going out to OKC, I don't think people uh, really expected what OKC gave to the people. You know what I'm saying, when Chris Paul got there.
Yeah,
And then again, him signing to the Phoenix Suns, and they're #2 in the West right now.
that's
And then
impressive.
you can rewind back to last year in the bubble. Shit, Phoenix Suns, they was playing lights out in the bubble.
Yeah, I think that was
So to be able
undefeated in the bubble
to ask,
to the end.
yeah, so to be able to ask somebody like Chris Paul, man, that's my sleeper in the West. The Phoenix Suns, and then in the East, I'll go with the Knicks. I'll go with the Knicks. The Knicks, man, they've been playing some solid ball, some respectable
Mm-hmm.
ball. Um, and
They're in the
young
offs
team,
right
fairly
now.
young team.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, they're in the offs right now.
yeah, bringing Derrick Rose over.
Yeah, I probably on the Western Conference, it's the Jazz. The Jazz obviously they're a good team, had a good core, but I feel like Donovan Mitchell. I wouldn't say he's taking a step back, but
Oh, you
not
like
taking a step
Shaq
back.
now?
No, 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 I'm not saying a step back as far as his play, but I'm saying a step back as far as like, okay, I don't have to be that guy who got to go out here and drop 30 a night. More of
Yeah.
they're very, very team. Like everybody touched the rock, very team oriented over there, and it's obviously paying off. They're #1 in the West, so
Uh huh.
that's obviously surprising. I expected the Clippers, especially with the Lakers being banged up, to be up there, and then Suns. I'm not shocked about the Suns. Once CP3 went over there and got with Ayton and got with Booker, time to create their big three. And their coaches, like you said, had them cooking with gas in the bubble last year. So I expect out of that leadership that they will be at least in the 4th spot, is what I said coming into the year, and they're up there at 2. But
Yeah.
in the East, the Hawks, the Hawks have been playing a lot better since Nate McMillan took over, and they are
Yeah.
either 4 or 5 in the Eastern Conference, and that's surprising to me. I didn't expect them to be at that. I'm surprised with the Knicks as well. Happily surprised with them. I think the NBA is better when the Knicks are good. But yeah, on that East Coast, the Hawks, man, they came out and hit 11 for 11 in a quarter, 2 with threes. Think set a record. So yeah, man, I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
I mean, the other
Who you
side of it, who's
disappointed in?
most disappointed in the Celtics, man. We talked about them early on the show. Coming into the year, I feel like Celtics always high expectations for their basketball program if they got good players, which they do. Very disappointed. I believe they are like 7-8 right now in the East. And that's
You think it's time to break that up?
yeah, that's what I was about to say. And we spoke on it, like I said earlier in the during the year. I think
Yeah.
if they trick it off again, like I think they'll. I don't see them going past the second round this year. I think you break that up, man. I think at least Brad Stevens got to be out of there, in my opinion. You got Kimba, you got Jaylen Brown, you
I
got
agree.
Jason Tatum. Like there's no way you should be 7-8, hovering around 500 at this point in the season with that type of talent on your team. You got the Hornets up
I
there
agree.
fourth.
And again, like you said, I don't think they get past the second round this year.
Yeah, you got to do something. We got limited patience.
So
Limited patience these days.
Got to.
On the East League.
So who's your surprise? Well, your disappointment in the West.
In the West, I'm disappointed with the Trailblazers, but it's more so because McCollum been out. He was out for a while. He's back now. But Dame put it on his back. But I wanted to kind of see them take that step. And obviously, the Lakers, with them being banged up with injuries again. So it's injuries over there. But I want to see, because it's gonna be tough for them Lakers. They get in the playoffs and they're 4 or 5 seed. It's gonna be tougher for AD banged up, older LeBron. Now you got to go through, the Nuggets. It's a lot of good teams on that West Side. So you're gonna get matched up with those guys in earlier rounds. That makes it tough for a run. So I'm disappointed with those two squads. What about you?
Again, the Lakers, but that's injuries. I would like to see more out of the Mavs too, man.
Yeah.
I would like to see more out of the Mavs. Not saying that they should be at the like 1 or 2, but with the talent they have over there, Luka, Porzingis, I would like to see more out of that group. I would have to go definitely
they're
with the
7
Dallas
right
Mavs.
now. Yeah. Expect Luka to lead them to a better. Somebody said the Celtics are doodle. The bubble broken. Yeah, man. But yeah, man, NBA it's gonna shape up for some good playoffs once again. I feel like the playoffs are always very enjoyable. With the NBA, we got baseball going on. We got the Masters going on in golf. I know you're not a big fan of the golf thing.
Who you got in the Masters? Well, yeah. I'm not. I can't sit down and watch the golf. You tapped into that yet? You sit down and watch it?
Not yet. Not yet. Nah. If it's on TV, I won't turn it off. I won't change the channel. But honestly, I'm a casual. I'm a casual with the golfing. So if it ain't Tiger out there, I think Rory's back out there, Dustin. If I catch it on, I won't turn it off. But it ain't something I gotta catch.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know what I mean. I ain't like it.
I feel you.
Like that. But what else we got going on? Oh, while we talking about New York Knicks and all that, New York. So New York is actually legalizing online gambling now, which is obviously a huge market. In a huge space. Everybody's. If you cover in sports, you have something dedicated to, placing bets, the odds, all that sports betting stuff. Do you see yourself getting more into that lane next year? I know I tapped into it this year during the football season.
I do, because it's funny. Off the script, I got a lot of guys back home that bet a lot, and they always ask like, "Yo, Twan, like, who you think here? Obviously the odds. You know what I'm saying? This, that, and the third, and I give them my opinion, and I done made a lot of money. So I'm like, well, shit, if I could just tap in for myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just get more into it. So I definitely do think I'm gonna tap into it more this year. It's about to be a big business. Obviously, like you said, New York legalized, and I think it's gonna be a lot more other states that's gonna be following them as well. So I'm definitely gonna tap into that this year.
Yeah, man. If you don't, shit, it's you just missing out on opportunity
Missing
cost.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, but like you said,
Yeah.
you tap in. Obviously, we got a different viewpoint, different perspective. I converse with a lot of people who are handicappers and do certain things with the analytics of it. Is obviously it's a lot of data and computer behind it, but when you can combine that with, especially when you talk about football and
With
other
the
sports
knowledge.
so much, yeah, with the
Yeah.
knowledge of, okay, how does this certain team or these certain players match up with this other team's best players or scheme, et
Match
cetera, et
up.
cetera.
Yeah.
Things that
Yeah.
obviously nobody can just, you can't look at a group of data and get to that. So that's our advantage with that. I was pretty good, pretty successful last year with it, and so definitely gonna get into it more. I can't
You was
really
all
get
right.
into, and I was exceptional.
You was all right.
Exceptional.
You was all right.
I was exceptional. Check the record, man. I'm gonna have to repost it to remind folks, man. But
That's what we got. Hey Tone, man, put the records up there in the chat, Tone. Let's what was
yeah,
the record?
against gamblers only care about against the spread, though, man. You weren't picking against the spread. That don't count, man. You know what I mean? That's money line. That's
Yeah,
picking
shit, it do
winners.
count.
You got, the it
Shit.
count what?
Winners and losers. That's life. Winners and
If you
losers.
can bet against that spread, that's where you really, you know what I mean? That's where you really a full blown degenerate. But nah, I'm rocking with it. I enjoy it. So check this out. If you had to place a bet, with this draft coming up, okay,
Yep.
we're hearing a lot of talk about Justin Fields
Yep.
dropping down, being the third, fourth, fifth quarterback out of the top five. If you had to bet who gets drafted first, Justin Fields or Mac Jones? If you had to place a bet right now,
Justin Fields.
you say he gets drafted first.
Yeah.
Oh, before, out of the two.
Before Mac, out of the two. Yeah.
All right, yeah, I'm right.
I think a lot of times around, it's no experts, right? You might got, I don't care what they say, experts.
Oh no, it's plenty experts, especially today.
Yeah, right.
Unlimited experts.
As we've seen in the draft process before us, during our time, and obviously after us, I think around this time, things start leaking, but leaking for certain reasons. You know what I'm saying? Where teams just trying to play mind games. It's like, might be leaking some wrong information on purpose, just so, maybe potential teams might go a different route. But I don't understand within a month's time how a guy could be the second best quarterback, you know what I'm saying, in the draft, and no game has been played. All it's been is pro days. The pro day was good, and then all of a sudden, my man is the fifth best quarterback in the draft. So I just think a lot of times it's just mental games, mental gymnastics that people are trying to play with, organizations trying to play with one another. But I have Justin Fields going before Mac Jones.
Yeah, same for me. I feel like that's going to be, when we look back on it, it'll be a lot of hype. Mac Jones, I can see him going probably in the top half of the first round, but I don't see Justin Fields going past the third quarterback taken. And I think it's going to go 1, 2, 3, maybe even 1, 2, 3, 4 quarterbacks off the board. But it's nowhere in hell. I'm not believing that until Roger Goodell get up there and read that card. And then if he does that,
yeah,
I'll stand corrected. But right now, nah, I'm not buying that at all.
We touched on it last episode. Like, give me your top five again. Your top five quarterbacks. We touched on it briefly.
Yeah, so my top five. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you quick. Trevor Lawrence 1,
Yep.
Justin Fields 2, Zach Wilson 3. I go Mac Jones 4, Trey Lance / Kyle Trask 5. And the only reason, I haven't seen enough of Trey Lance. I know you don't, the level of competition, I factor that in as well. Yeah, so that'd be my 5, 5A, 5B down there. What about you? What's your top 5? That's how I think they should come off the board too. We all know it.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you with your 5. Trey Lance, man, they got him. I was watching something. They compared him to his play ability, his play style to a HBCU legend. God rest his soul, Steve McNair.
Aaron McNair.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that's a. I hate when people do that. You know what I'm saying? The
I
comparisons
mean, they
to
comparing Mac Jones
a
to
young.
Tom Brady. So
Right,
you
like
know,
what? Why put that pressure on them young boys like that, man? Like, but
yeah,
that's something that I guess you got to do. But
yeah,
I'm
player
with you in the
comps.
top 5.
Yeah, and like once that draft day come, who knows what's happening? We done had plenty of interviews, plenty of guys on here who have everybody got their own draft stories. This team said it was gonna take me, this happened, somebody traded out of that pick, that happened. Like so things are always gonna happen on draft day. It's gonna shake it all up. We know probably half of the quarterbacks won't pan out. Unfortunately, that's just how it usually goes. A lot of it is
That's
based
just
off
what it
where they
is. Yeah.
land. Yeah. A lot of because we know a lot of it's gonna be
Yeah.
based off where you go, who's around you, who's coaching you, what players, how
Mm-hmm.
can you mentally handle, pick things up on and off the field. So it's a lot that goes into it. But those would be my 5 guys, based off what I've seen them do on the college level. Now, Justin Fields, I watched him and Mac Jones' pro day on the same day, actually. Mac Jones went first, and I watched Justin Fields. And there was a clear difference to me that Justin Fields looked better. But that same day, the 49ers, their brass went down to Mac Jones. They went down to Alabama and watched his pro day. So they had like the third guy in charge at Justin Fields. So now Justin Fields is having the second pro day.
Yeah.
It's reported that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch will be at this one. You think that was a good move by him?
Yeah. Because if I'm Justin Fields, that's the system I want to go in. That's the system I want to play in. With his ability, what he's able to do, with his arm and his legs, and with Kyle Shanahan being a play caller that he is, and just the talent that they have on that offensive side of the ball, that's a scheme I would love to play in if I'm a quarterback. If I'm Justin Fields, you know what I mean. So I
Yeah,
think it was big.
sure.
I don't think um, they'll have him do anything too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of wanted to maybe you know, polish up on what they've seen. What they've seen through film study from his first pro day. So for them to be like, look, if we want to see something else, shit, go out there and bet on yourself.
Yeah, big facts. Was Shanahan the coach when you were there? Was he already the guy?
Nah, so I left when he got hired. That's when I left. That's when I got out of there.
Okay, so
But I
do
have
you?
I have the utmost respect for John Lynch, just the way he handled the
He handled
situation.
that.
You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Being there, calling me in the office, and we had like a 2-hour talk. So I'll always have great things to say about John Lynch, just the way he handled my situation.
Yeah, that's definitely important. Now, the it's been reported that Kyle Shanahan has the final say so when it comes to calling those shots, who they're going to draft at 3, especially. Um, have So I mean that it's different on every team. Obviously, some coaches call the shots. I think John Gruden called the shots in Las Vegas, and obviously, I think it's the same in San Fran. Have you ever been a part of a situation where you saw like bumping heads at that head coaching, general manager spot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. My first year going into when I was in San Fran, Trent Baalke and Harbaugh. That's what
Mm-hmm.
it. That's kind of what it was. That's what obviously me just walking into that situation, but you know the all around the facility and just the bickering. It was really like, okay, some were with Harbaugh, some were with Trent Baalke, man. And at the end of the day, again, sometimes, as you just stated, where a young player. Hold on, real quick. You hear that?
Yeah. Hey, you good?
All right. But just like how you stated, as a young player, if you're coming into that situation, sometimes that could be to your detriment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where the front office not seeing eye to eye. Well, okay, I want to draft this guy. Well, now I want to draft this guy. You know what I'm saying? So, um, that's tough. But if you can have a front office that's seeing eye to eye, that's standing firm, 10 toes down on the same decision, I think that just makes it better from the top all the way down.
Yeah, for sure. I think we saw it was some of that. I know Dwayne Haskins coming in. It was reports that certain guys want them, certain guys don't. Some owners jump in, and obviously it's their team at the end of the day. So if the owners say, "Hey, I want that guy," then that trumps all.
Yeah.
Obviously, I experienced it in Indy. I was there for 6 years. With Chuck, 5 of them with Chuck and Grigson. They had their fair share of
Yep.
bumping heads, and it's something that when you in that locker room, you in that facility, it's a lot of type A personalities, it's a lot of alpha males. So it's gonna be some ego checks, and the locker room, the team, the organization can kind of feel when there's not that synergy at the top, and it can definitely throw everything off. I think it's a big reason why New England was so successful for so long, because you had one guy who basically wore both hats. You can look at his draft record. So he wasn't the greatest drafting guy, but he knew how to maneuver certain things, knew how to coach the guys he was bringing in or letting go. Baltimore obviously having Ozzie Newsome and Harbaugh for the time they had. So you have different. It works, and it seems to be working so far in San Fran with John Lynch and Shanahan and what they have going on. Mayock and Gruden, I thought it would work. That's kind of looking a little suspect right now in the light, but we'll see. But it's going to be interesting.
Right now.
It's looking shaky right now. But I think when they go down to see Justin Fields live, and one of the biggest differences that's aside from football that I saw with Mac Jones and Justin Fields, and I think Mac Jones is a good player. Go in the right system, he'll be a good player. But one thing I saw just watching him, because I'm watching the program, I'm watching everything like I'm, a general manager. And, everybody, you're going to be yourself. You're going to have your own personality, especially as a quarterback. That's important. We talked to Tyrod Taylor about that. Yep. Mac Jones was just like, he was too giddy for me, bro. He was too, smiley and too, it just looked, I don't know. And I know that may be his personality, but when I watched Justin Fields, it was focused, it was, laser, it was this, that, and the third. And I know if I'm a veteran player, especially young guy coming in that locker room, you immediately a leader of men. And when you in there, it's big business. It's every day. So if you come, I'm looking for, even from the personality type thing, which guy would I now? However much stock you put in those type of things, it depends on who's calling those shots. But for me, hey, I want you to show, hey, it's business. You know what I mean? Obviously, how you lead is how you lead. But that was something that kind of I don't know. But I'm looking forward to this second pro day. Hopefully, it's filmed. And I think once they see that, Jay Fields not dropping past 3. In my opinion, I
don't think nobody be wasting nobody's time for a second pro day just cause. That's for a reason. That's for a reason.
Did you have any teams during your pre-draft process? Did you have any teams? I guess reach out to you and say, hey, we want to see this or that, or like a pop-up workout or something like that. Because I had some things like that.
Yeah, I had after the combine, I had my pro day. I had some teams out there watching them workouts, and then after my pro day, I had maybe 3 or 4 personal workouts. Seattle Seahawks, the Cleveland Browns, might have been 1 or 2 more where I had they came up to campus and I had personal workouts. So
yeah, okay, yeah, I had the same. I know the Falcons. I did, and the rule. I don't know if the rules have changed, but at that time, you either had to do the personal work or the private workouts either at your school or in your hometown. So we had one team, the Falcons. They flew everybody up. I think the head coach Mike Smith and D coordinator, all that type of stuff. They came to UConn, did a private workout, and I did it with another team. I can't remember the other team, but that's definitely. I don't know. You couldn't tell me shit. And I was like, oh, I'm big time, boy. Y'all done flew out just for me. I'm about to put on the show.
Yes, sir.
But obviously it's some pressure to it. It wasn't pressure at that point just because, you're trying to do everything possible to position yourself to go as high as possible in that draft. And the Jaguars too. So the Jaguars were picking 8. And I avoided. I finessed my way out of bench pressing at the combine.
Right.
And I did the same thing at the pro day.
I mean, hold. What? You said that once before. How many times do you think you would have? How many times do you think you would have got?
Honestly, bro,
would you at least 5?
I would have got 5. I would have got 5. I wouldn't have.
7?
I would not have. I wouldn't got. I don't think I would have cracked 10. And just because pro days, I mean not pro days, but bench pressing was never my thing. You know, long arms, like it was never my thing. I was a dumbbell guy. And then what made it worse, I went to go train pre-draft with Deion Sanders, and he wasn't obviously not on my head about the damn bench press. He like, man, I ain't receiver ain't never laid across my chest. But
right.
But the Jaguars, so my head coach at college, Randy Essel, he was previously a DB coach for the Jaguars, so he had some relationships there. He calls me. I'm fried actually. I'm in Connecticut at I think Mohegan Sun. He called me like, "Hey man, somebody from the front office, Jack, they want to work you out. They want to see you bench press. They want to make sure you're not hiding an injury." So I'm like, "Shoot, all right, you know." So he's like, "Where you at?" So I'm like, "Oh, you know, I'm down here in Florida. I'm training." So I'm like, so he's like, "All right, bet. You know, they're gonna meet you at your training spot tomorrow. You're gonna go in there." They sent a scout down there for me to go bench. I had to fly in, came in. I think I put up 7. And they had the 8th pick.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like, oh man, you know, I can't like not do this. Like this team picking 8. I can't not, you know, continue. It ain't that serious, you know.
Yeah.
If I put up, he's like, you know them. He's like, hey, you don't care how many reps you do, you know, they just want to see that you're healthy, that your shoulders are good, that you're not hiding any injuries, whatever. So that was the only team. The Jaguars finally got a bench out of me. I think it was probably a 7-piece, I think. But yeah,
7-piece. That ain't bad. That ain't bad.
That was bad. That was bad. I had cats throwing up. I think Tay put up like 20 something. Yeah, I said, yeah, I ain't about to get up here with these dudes, man. If y'all ain't got a number, y'all just got to guess.
Yeah, that bad.
What you did coming out?
Man, so shoot, while we on this I banged out 19. I had 19, banged out 19.
Okay. Like 19.
Yeah, it was solid.
What you
respectable. But now I know we were talking about it previously. They talking about one of the rule changes. They're gonna loosen up on the number restriction. You know, DBs, receivers, running backs could tap into it. Maybe even some tight ends could tap into these single-digit numbers. How you think that's going to be if this rule does get passed?
You know, when I first heard it, I thought it was dope, but then when I thought about it, I was like, I don't know if I don't like it. I don't like it, honestly. You know, growing up, it was I don't know, maybe I'm just old school. Like, that was just something you did in high school, you know, little league, high school, college.
Yeah.
Once you went to the pros, it was like, you know, you do things differently. You do it like pros. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be weird seeing cats out there. It's definitely gonna be swaggy. I know if I was a player, you know, I know if I had a chance on the pro level to throw that deuce on or that one on. I mean, honestly, you know, I'll probably be acting totally different out there. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I'm sure there's a lot of players excited about it. What you think about it?
Nah, I think I'm with you. I'm 50-50. Like when I first heard it, I was all for it. I'm like, yeah. Like I don't know why they didn't have that all along. But then I just happened to look at some. You know, they cropped some numbers on some guys in the high school numbers that, you know, that was single digit. And I saw it and I was like, I don't know.
It just look. I don't know,
again,
bro.
But to your point, if I was in that Indy blue and white with that number 2 on back there in the post,
hey,
yeah,
I'm jumping everything. I'm jumping everything. Yeah, I'm jumping everything.
My fault, coach. I seen something. I saw something.
I saw something, man.
I'm acting different.
Yeah. People
I'm acting different.
It's gonna be Yeah, it's gonna be hard though. It'll be dope, but yeah, I'm split though. I'm split. I like the old numbers, man. You get to league, got to pick a number. Would have never got AB 41, man. You know what I mean? You had to go
AB
get that.
41.
You had to go get that stank 41 and make it clean. You know what I mean? Would have
Dang.
never had that. It's
I
probably
made
kids
some,
out here
baby.
wearing. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's probably
Yeah.
kids out here wearing 4-1 now because of that. So I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. It's gonna
They
be
don't
tough. Well,
even
it's gonna
know
be
it.
some fights. Hey, it's gonna be some fights
Yeah.
over them numbers, though, boy. What matter of fact? What's your
Man,
favorite?
it's
I
gonna
guess
be
Deuce.
tough.
That's easy for you, Deuce. That's your favorite. I would assume football numbers. Give me your top 3 football numbers.
My top 3 football numbers. 1,
Number 1, okay.
2. I'm gonna give you 4. I'm gonna give you 4. I'm gonna
Okay.
give you 4 numbers. 1, 2, the number 4, and the number 11. I don't know for some reason
You
that
like
11
11?
them 11s be looking all right.
Yeah. See, I think about all the way back to Little League, man, or high school. Like you saw certain cats and certain numbers, you knew, all right, that's one of their dogs. And for me, 1,
Yep.
2, I wore 2 in high school, wore 1 in college. 7 always been hard for me. And then 21. Prime made 21. Like that was so those whenever you saw those numbers on the field, and I 4, 9. It's been some different numbers that I came across, but 1, 2, 7, 21. Those I would say the best football numbers, in my opinion. But that's gonna be interesting, man, to see that on the
Nah,
NFL field.
it will.
If they
It will.
if
It
they
will.
pass.
I know the young guys. I know the young guys excited about it now.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll definitely see.
Yeah, we're gonna see, man. What else we got? Hold on. I saw a question. Somebody said Mike had a good question. All right, boom. Michael Ward. Y'all can start dropping some questions in too. Michael Ward, do you guys feel any quarterback in the draft is better than Herbert? He wasn't highly touted and had question marks on accuracy. He came in and crushed. In this draft, I mean,
Man, what Herbert did last year, I'm gonna say no.
yeah, I mean, because it's hard to say that because we've seen him do it on the NFL level, so it's hard to,
Seen it. Right.
it's hard to unsee that. Because everybody, and you can talk to anybody, it's a lot of experts on here that'll tell you Trevor Lawrence is a can't miss, Zach Wilson is can't miss, blah blah. Myself and Antoine have seen plenty of can't miss prospects come to the league and shit down their legs. So you can't put any of these guys over Herbert. But Herbert was highly touted. For a while, Herbert was looked at as the number 1 pick. His talent was never questioned. His question was about, I believe, like leadership, if he was a vocal leader, and then accuracy, things like that. But he was definitely a highly touted recruit. And another thing about Herbert is Herbert had great coaching. Pep Hamilton, we talked about Pep on the show before. You look at his track record when it comes to work with quarterbacks. I was playing on the team with him. And then you also had great weapons that were available to Herbert from day one. Keenan Allen, great safety blanket. Hunter Henry when he was healthy. Mike Williams. You got guys, you got dogs around him, so you put him in a situation to be successful. Now Herbert, what he did was phenomenal. Probably the best rookie season I've seen from a quarterback, honestly. And I've seen some. Cam when he did his. Then I was with Luck the next year when he had his rookie year. So I've seen some great rookie years. But Herbert's right up there at the top, in my opinion.
Yeah, no question. I'm with you. I'm with you. Put that question up there on from Mary Beth Girth.
Mary Beth Girth, bum.
Not really a draft question, but where and how can a team improve on the special teams? When to look for a new punter. Special teams. I know that it's 3 phases to the game. You got your offense, defense, and special teams. And your special teams is where you find those guys that's on the roster that's willing to make the team. A lot of guys make the team just because of special teams. So again, y'all, it's all about you doing your due diligence, critiquing play. Where can this guy help us at? Is he a gunner? Can he get down there and force a fair catch every time? Again, a punter. Like, can he change the field position for us? Like, so it's ways where you can critique and you can implement those type of players on your team that can have major impact. Um, you look at in New England, you know
Yeah,
Slater,
Slater.
like
Slater.
he's a beast, but he's a beast on special teams and he creates. He's the difference maker on that side of the ball. When I think about young Buda Baker before he was starting and being a All Pro, sure he made the Pro Bowl on, off special teams, being a gunner, going down there, leading teams in tackle. So when you doing your due diligence and when you critiquing your players, you always got to have that in your back in the back of your mind. Not only they're not going to be starting on offense and defense, and even if you are starting, like how can you help us in this other phase of the game?
Yeah, like I can remember like Legion of Boom. Like when they were Legion of Boom, Seattle had them dogs out there. Them cats played on special teams too.
Let's see.
You know, they
Yeah,
took pride. You had Sherm. He was a one man vice on the punt return team, and once a vice is basically is two defenders, guarding one gunner. But if you have the luxury of being able to say, all right, I'm gonna put Sherm on one side, and you're by yourself, and I can put these two on somebody else, and then I can put maybe somebody else in the punt rush part of the phase, that changes your whole special teams game plan. They did the same thing on, I believe, got Earl Thomas and Cam, all them boys on kickoff. So
on
that's like
kickoff.
the first
Yeah,
play of defense. So special teams important. Obviously, a lot of times special teams relate directly to the depth on your team, like the quality of depth on your team. You got good backup safeties, good backup linebackers. Those are usually the guys that make, DBs, linebackers make up a large portion of the special teams. But it's important, like we said, third phase of the game. And it's really about a lot of the game comes down to field position. You know what I mean? You want your offense to play half court as much as possible. And you want your defense to play full court defense as much as possible because just the numbers are going to trend your way. So special teams is huge. There's depth. Sometimes it's what guys have done in college, but a lot of times, a lot of players that make it to the NFL didn't play a bunch of special teams in college. So it's going to be, but once you get in that room and you say, all right, I'm not a starting safety, I'm not a starting corner, I'm not a starting tight end, like I got to find my way to make this 53. Special teams is that way
yeah,
for a lot of people. So and the punter, they have their pro days and they have their things like that. We had a great weapon with Pat McAfee as a punter. We knew as a defense, if Pat was going to
yeah,
pin him inside the 10, 15, that's great odds for us. If he could make an onside kick, which he did great for some years, that's going to steal a few possessions. So special teams are huge, man. Huge.
yeah. No question. No question.
Yeah, I guess to answer the question, where and how they can improve on special teams, continue to draft well, continue to have depth. Because like I said, those guys are going to do whatever it takes to make the team. Oh man, it's a good question. You can answer that. Oh yeah, Terrell Davis did. He made his name on special teams too. Rob Mathis.
Shit, Robert Mathis.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
had him on the show, Man and Man alum. He talked about his grind from special teams. I think he was a fifth round pick, right? Coming in.
Yep, fifth round. Yep.
So yeah, you can answer this one first. I'm gonna swap this thing out real quick, AB.
If the team hired either of you to be a defensive coordinator, what scheme would y'all use? Um, Again, I've seen it, both ways. Where if I'm a defensive coordinator, I got to know what I'm coming into, right? So I got to look at my talent on my roster, right? Whereas typically, a defensive coordinator comes in with a scheme that he has in mind. This is what I'm used to. This is what I've been groomed to do. Whether it's a 4-3 or 3-4, whether it's based off of zone, zone coverages, or it's majority man. For me, if I had the talent that I wanted or that I needed, it would be 3-4. I would run a 3-4 defense, 5 zones, and cover four will be um, my two main coverages that I would lean on. So that would be that would be me. And again, with the 3-4, you can mix it up a lot of different ways. You can get a quarterbacks a lot of different looks. Again, just dependent on having that personnel to be able to do what I wanted to do. Obviously, pressure. Um, Granted, if I could press you with four, that's what I would do. But obviously sending some 5-man pressures, 6-man pressures at times. Um, Again, fire zone, you damn near playing like man. So basically, having some guys on the outside that can match up with the receivers, not too long. Again, as we all know, coverage and rush goes hand to hand. So I think that would definitely be my go-to 3-4 fire zone, sprinkling a little bit of cover four, and let my dogs go eat. That's me, baby.
And my camera tripping right now. There it go. Uh, yeah. I mean, like you said, you kind of depends on who you got out there. I'm a fan of the 4-3 though. I'm a fan of the 4-3. 3-4s are tough though because you kind of never know where that fourth or fifth rusher is coming from, especially if you incorporate fire zones. But I would probably be more of a 4-3 guy. And I would, gotta have a similar to what the Colts run. And I'll mix up, depending on who I'm playing, sprinkle in some more man, but have guys who know exactly what the hell they doing, who do the same drops over and over and over again, the same rushes, the same calls, the same positions, communicating with the same positions, right? If the linebacker, I'm always communicating with the same guys, so we're always on the same page. That'll eliminate mistakes. So I'll have a simplified scheme, right? I'll be one of those teams where you walk into the building, you know what you're getting. You know what I mean? You know, okay, we're getting this from this defense, but you also know that we're going to execute at a high level. And then obviously more than anything, you got to have the players athletically that can handle it, and then mentally that can handle it. Because if you're running the same thing, it's going to be every coverage, every play is little nuances, ends, little adjustments that can be made. So having smart, intelligent players out there that can unfold and unwind some things on their own makes all the difference in the world on that next level. So I'll have a simplified, mostly zone scheme, 4-man rush, mixing in some 5-man pressures and some man-to-man here and there. But I want ball production, and I want guys getting to their spots, rallying, tackling, and limiting bad matchups. So that's for me. That's for me. Styles of
Yep,
ways to
yep.
skin a cat.
Exactly.
Boom, boom,
Exactly.
boom.
But I think with everything, though, I think the main thing, as you both said, is about your personnel. About your personnel. Because even with the 4-3, if you don't have the personnel up front to be able to get to that quarterback,
Start.
it could be rough. And then again with the 3-4, if you don't have the personnel that's able to, you know, sometimes your outside linebackers gonna have to drop in the coverage sometimes. You know what I mean? So if you don't have that personnel to be able to do that, regardless of what you run, it could be tough.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Chris, shout out to Chris, Black Techie, SMS Go. I'm curious to hear both of your thoughts about Teddy. With all that's going on in Carolina, what is best for him? We kind of touched on that was that last episode? Because I personally didn't think the Panthers made
So
an upgrade. Yeah, I didn't think they made an upgrade going with Sam Darnold over Teddy Bridgewater. I think Teddy played he played well last year. Robbie Anderson had his best numbers. He didn't have C-Mac behind him, dealt with some injuries himself. But they were productive as an offense with a first-year coordinator, with a first-year head coach. They were productive, not great by any stretch, but I don't think Sam Darnold was that much of an upgrade from him. I can look back and be wrong. I just don't think that personally. Right now, I don't think Teddy has a bunch of leverage. I think they did give him and his agent permission to seek a trade. So if he does find a better situation for himself, I hope he does that. But he got some bread, so I'm happy about that. But I think Teddy can still be a good starting quarterback in this league.
Yeah, now I was surprised by the move by the Panthers bringing in Sam Darnold. I didn't see that coming. But again, like we said, we talked about it in the previous show. I think he's in a tough spot right now, just being like where we at in the off season. Obviously, the teams that's looking for a quarterback, I'm pretty sure they're probably looking to the draft right now. So again, it's one of them things where it's where business come into play. Got to bite that bullet, continue to do what he's been doing. Just work hard and wait for that opportunity. When that opportunity does come, I know he'll be ready. Seems like a pro's pro. So,
Yep.
so he
Teddy
just has
two
to be ready.
gloves.
So, yeah.
Gotta be ready. I think he will be, man. I think he will be. While we talking about quarterbacks, obviously, some I don't think we've spoke on it on the show at least with the Deshaun Watson, the allegations, I think it's up to 22 now, and obviously that's those are serious allegations.
Yeah.
Not knowing the full details, the full scope of it. Gonna let the legal process play out. Obviously, everything I heard about Deshaun from the people that I know that know him. It was surprising when I first heard that. I'm like, damn, that's hard to believe, but we definitely gonna let it. I'm gonna let the
Yeah, I would
process
have
play
never
out.
thought that.
Yeah, I would have never thought something
Yeah.
like that. Hopefully, obviously, number one, it doesn't happen. It didn't happen, and but if it did, you know, you gotta let the process, take
Got to
its
do what's
place.
right.
You got to do what's right, regardless of who you are. You saw Nike suspended its partnership. I don't think they ended it, but suspended it with Deshaun. Beats by Dre dropped them as a
Yep.
sponsor. I believe they're all civil suits up until this point, right? Or is it any criminal?
I think it's one. I think it's one criminal.
Okay, one criminal.
I think
So,
it's one criminal, but the one, yeah, the one criminal though isn't represented by the lawyer that had all the civil suits.
okay, it's not. So that's the Busby guy. All right. So yeah, we gonna obviously
Yeah.
let it play out. It's some crazy shit, man. Once again, hopefully it did not happen, but obviously the process and the
Wow.
facts will come to light, hopefully. And gotta do what's right.
Yeah.
Gotta do what's right. I'll tell you one thing though, all them damn I can't
He
he
got
got a
so many
lot of he got a
masseuse,
lot
like
of
so many.
damn sheesh.
Because
I
I
probably
mean,
had what 5, 10 max.
I have, I probably had 10 max throughout my 14-year career.
That's what I'm saying. Because usually once you find
Yeah,
one, I
you
know for
stick
me at
with that
least,
one.
yeah. Once I found somebody that I like that did the job right, like I didn't want to leave that person. I
Yeah,
usually have
you
somebody at home, and it had somebody in the city I was playing at. But
yeah, and you might have a second one, a second massage therapist just being on scheduling sometimes.
yeah,
Where your masseuse is like, look, something came up, or you might need to get a massage on a day that you normally wasn't scheduled for. So, my thing was like, I was getting a massage Monday right after the game, and then I was getting a flush on Friday, right? So I'm telling my
mhm,
masseuse, like, look, these are my days. I need you to lock me in at these times, right? But it could have been a Wednesday where, I might need something. And,
yeah,
my masseuse is like, look, AB, I'm locked up on Wednesdays. I already got guys, scheduled in. So, I might have a backup plan. Like, look,
yeah. I guess somebody
can you
else.
fit
Yeah,
me in? But yeah, but that was the first thing that kind of popped in my mind. Is just like, wow, that's a lot of massage therapists. But again, you just everybody's different too. Everybody's different.
yeah,
Everybody moves different. Everybody's schedule is different. So again, like you said, man, you let the process help, let the process uh deal with that. And, um, I think we'll probably re touch on this topic when more information comes out.
yeah, man. Got to. Are you guys talking about girl? What you talking about, Pepe? Hey, somebody just said something. Shout out, Manscaped. You know what I mean? Y'all go get right, 20% off,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
free shipping. Maybe gonna tell y'all that every time. Code man, 2 man with the number 2. Once again, let me know if y'all got right, man. Yep.
Yeah, get right for sure.
Draft. But yeah, man. What else we got? Anything else? What time? Oh, it's that time. It's that time. Probably got time for one more question. We sneak one more in here.
Then I'm gonna put my feet in this sand, baby.
Go ahead, soak them bunions, cuz. Let's see what we got. Mac Jones goes 3. You know what? I got a question for you, since I don't see any others popping up. So we talking about the quarterbacks coming off the board, possibly 1 through 4. Who do you think should be the first non-quarterback off the board?
Man, well, you can go. Man, that Kyle Pitts, man. I depending on the team, you might have to go.
Let's say you're the Bengals.
Offensive tackle.
You're the Cincinnati Bengals. At 5, if the 1 through 4 stay in place.
No, I gotta go offensive tackle.
Yeah. You gotta go
out of Oregon. I gotta go offensive tackle. Oregon,
okay. I feel the same way.
Yeah, I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go offensive tackle. I gotta
do the Bengals.
My young quarterback. Yeah, you gotta stay upright. You know what I mean? You gotta keep him upright. So I gotta go offensive tackle.
Now, if you're, I guess if they don't go 1 through 4 to quarterbacks, and you are the Falcons at 4, you take a quarterback of the future, or you take a Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, match him up with Julio. Really, that'd be ugly.
Yeah, I won't go Chase. I won't go Chase just because of you got Julio. You got Calvin Ridley. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't see that. I would get ready for the future. I'll go quarterback.
Now, this is a spot where I would feel more comfortable with a Mac Jones still high for me for Mac Jones, but at least you got Matt Ryan there at least for another year or two. Trey Lance, even, young guy who's going to need, time to for that learning curve, which they all do. So yeah, I can see quarterback for the future. It'll be hard for me to pass up Pitts though, honestly, and especially at 6 with the Dolphins. I hope he falls to us.
Nah, I feel you.
Get him out because he an instant mismatch, and he's gonna be lined up once again across from
instant.
He's gonna be lined up across from safeties and linebackers. And Chase, once he comes in the league, Devontae Smith, once they come in the league, they're lined up against the other team's best cover guy more times than not. Pitts. You're going to be lined up on that team's 3rd, 4th, 5th best cover guy. So walking mismatch, his length, his athleticism.
Where is I don't know what I seen somebody talking about Pitts to Arizona. I don't know what Arizona. I don't know where they pick at.
Yeah, not high enough.
They're not high enough. Yeah, but I was just thinking about that. I'm like, that would be a problem.
Pitts anywhere would be a problem, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, like
that's
it's an instant.
What you're looking for?
That's instant production at the tight end position.
Instant. Absolutely instant. But appreciate y'all, man.
As always,
enjoy your vacation, man. Slow down on them Shirley Temples and Arnold Palmers.
I know you out there, man. I need to slow down. Man.
We'll see y'all Monday.
Man, y'all be good. Have a good weekend.
Yes, sir. We out here.